In today's video, we're going to be checking out the Diamond Select Toys. This is a Nightmare Before Christmas Santa Sally collectible doll. Okay, so let's grab the tape measure here. Santa Sally, if you count the top of her hat, is about 14.5 inches in height. For another comparison, like we did with Jack Skellington, let's slide Santa Sally over, and we'll bring in the Hot Topic release of Sally. Basically, they are the exact same figure, except for the fact that the head sculpts are completely different, and of course Santa Sally is wearing a Santa outfit. There are some other changes as well, primarily as well the rubber overlay that they've put over top of Sally's body is a slight little bit more blue on Santa Sally versus regular Sally here. We'll do some more comparisons, more in-depth comparisons in a second. Let's bring her back over here. Just move Sally out of the way. She does have her own Santa sack, which is actually a slight bit different than the one that came with Santa Jack. Jack's was a little bit closer to almost like a cream color, where Sally's has a more distinct greenish sort of color by comparison. Still has the draw straps, and it still has the interior workings of just some batting. Not really much to be said there. However, with Santa Sally, she gets the gift of gifts. She gets some extra gifts here as well, which I've kept sealed. I'm going to open these up now using my knife. And we can just take out all the little cool toys that they have for these characters as well. And a little bit of assembly that's required. For example, the cat. Just attach the head here. There we go. There is a pumpkin that was inside the jack-o'-lantern box. We can just take that out. Get my finger in there. There we go. And we'll put the... It doesn't seem like it closes. No, it doesn't. Oh, this does actually rotate. That's cool. And then this just attaches on the inside there. So we've got like a cat jack-in-the-box. And we've got the duck. I don't see, let me just go back and look at the bag. I don't see the actual rope or chain for the little duck on cart. And then we've also got a pumpkin. So actually some pretty cool little extra goodies that come included with Sally. Those three right here. Surprisingly that she would come with them, and then yet Jack wouldn't, but you could always just do the same thing with Jack's bag. Take out the batting. And then you could fill the bag with the toys. Maybe you want to do it more so for Jack because, you know, in the movie he's the one that's delivering the presents, but still, it's neat that they came with them. Just surprised actually that they would come with Sally and not necessarily Jack. Okay, so we'll move kind of everything out of the way. We're making a big pile of mess here. Take the figure off the stand, and the stand is also the same as regular Sally. Okay. And the stand is just a circular black display base. No logo or anything like that on the top. Standard adjustable neck. And much like the regular Sally, you've got the stepped waist clip. They do it, of course, so it would clear underneath the hair, like that, and clip onto the character's waist. I don't know if it's actually because of the clip, but I've noticed like the back area of Sally's outfit it looks like it's come loose, but it doesn't look like it was really sewed together. I guess we'll just have to straighten that up and maybe like tuck it under the belt. For her face is again a very, very different face sculpt than what we got with the original Sally. That being the Hot Topic exclusive. I think there was actually a regular release Sally as well, which I'd like to pick up and then maybe do a comparison between all three. But this one here, you just have the very subtle smile, Sally looking off to the side, whereas Santa Sally has a very big grin and the eyes looking forward. What I was discussing earlier was the fact that the skin, not only the head, but then the rubber body that they've applied over top of her joints, are more of a bluish tint versus the greenish color that this Sally has here. Other than that, it's the exact same body. Shy for, of course, the fact that this particular Sally also has a hat. Similar to Santa Jack, for example, had the hat. And the hat is glued on there. You can't take it off. I do like this face sculpt, though. I kind of wish that, I don't know, maybe the regular released Sally doll did have this face sculpt. It would make sense, as, of course, you know, you can just reuse the body, reuse the head, and then just put the hat and the outfit over top of that. The outfit is actually very similar to Jack's outfit, kind of a red felt material. And then you've got the pom-pom, the fur trim here on the sleeves and on the bottom of her skirt. She gets some extra little bonuses, though. She has some pom-poms on the front of her outfit, which Santa Jack didn't have. They both share a very similar belt, although Jack's was a little bit tighter around his waist. So let's just talk about her joints here. Now, her joints, as you can see, she has just a ball hinge joint or a universal joint here on the legs. But then the lower legs as well as the arms are the exact same thing as what we looked at with the previous Sally. So there's a joint under all of this, but this is a kind of a more denser rubber. It helps that you get kind of a seamless look to it. But the downside, though, is the joints, as you saw right there, the joints are inside the rubber, kind of the rubber shell that's over top of the figure. You may not necessarily, as I've noticed now with the other Sally that we looked at, you don't necessarily have to bend the leg. You don't really have to bend anything. She has sufficient articulation on the arms and the legs that you can kind of still get her moving and walking and posing and anything that you really want with her. You don't necessarily need to be bending arms. Which, again, if that is the one thing that's kind of a bit of a deal breaker necessarily for maybe picking up this figure, I would say overlook that fact because you're still getting a really nice looking representation of Sally. If you don't necessarily bend the knees or bend the arms, I think that's perfectly fine because I don't think the figure necessarily needs to warrant having a bend in the knee. Like the knee doesn't seem to go any further than that, nor really does the arms. The arms do bend. But again, like I'm just really apprehensive about doing so. But you're going to only get a very mild bend. You're really not going to get too much of a considerable bend at all with Sally here. Let's go ahead and get her on her display base. Now that I've opened up the back there, I want to make sure that I'm not adding any further stress to that. So I'm going to try to clip it on above, maybe above her waist. And just loop it on here. It's a little difficult, only for Sally, because you're trying to get it underneath her hair. There we go. And there you have Santa Sally. Of course, you have regular Sally, Hot Topic Sally that we looked at before. And let's, you know what, do some other comparisons here as well. We'll bring in the one that we just finished looking at. There's Santa Jack. Doing a comparison there for you. And lastly, one that we first looked at, here is the regular Jack Skellington. I'm just going to move all these over. There we go. And there we go. Again, a really nice collection of figures. A little bit bigger than, of course, the regular conventional figures that we were getting from Diamond Select now for the Nightmare Before Christmas line. But I think these are good because they're larger representations of them. These are the kind of things that you would want to be putting in glass cabinets, bringing out every single time for Christmas time. Like these are really, from my honest opinion, a little bit more higher scaled figures, both size-wise, of course, and the quality of the pieces themselves. Jack, of course, is still going to be a little lankier. There's really no way, there's no workaround to that. But Sally, it definitely feels like there's a little bit more of a substantial figure happening here. Maybe a little iffy still to the rubber frame that she's got over top of her existing joints, but still I think all of these figures really capture the likenesses and the essence of the Nightmare Before Christmas movie. Nightmare Before Christmas is still a flick I consider more so a Christmas classic than a Halloween classic, and it's still a movie that I always go back to and watch every single year. It's kind of nice to actually be able to watch a Christmas movie or really a holiday movie because you know you don't necessarily have to watch it all year round. You get kind of excited for the fact that, yes, Christmas is coming around, so I can watch some of my Christmas favorites, including A Nightmare Before Christmas. Speaking regarding the dolls themselves, I think all the dolls really turned out quite well. Sally here, of course, has Slight variations to how she appeared in the Hot Topic release that we looked at in a previous video. Of course, she's got a slight varying change of color to the skin that she has on her body. Of course, different head sculpt, and most definitely, she's also wearing the Santa Claus outfit. So she does have a big enough departure from the regular Sally, I think, to warrant picking this figure up as well. Really like the holiday theme to these particular figures, and even though Jack Skellington in Santa's outfit is kind of more the look that I like, because, you know, it reminds me more so of the movie, I really do like the fact that Santa Sally here is also released here in a collectible doll. If you can overlook the fact that she does have the rubber skin over top of her body, but even in final poses right here, all I've done is bend the arms, hinge the arms, and hinge the legs. I really haven't done any bending at all to any of the joints. So if that again be the one thing that's kind of the deal breaker for you, rest assured, you really don't necessarily need to be bending anything on the figure itself. It has sufficient enough articulation in all the right points that you can get still poses from the figure without having to resort to bending any joints underneath the rubber skin. Still a great looking figure from the folks over at Diamond Select Toys. Today's Christmas spot, we were having a look at the Diamond Select A Nightmare Before Christmas, and this was the collectible doll of Santa Sally. If you guys haven't had a chance yet to hit that little subscribe button down below, time's a-wasting. Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. You'll never miss a beat when it comes to future videos. If you also want to go back and check out some of the other Nightmare Before Christmas reviews, I've got a playlist on the channel that you can check out and watch at your viewing pleasure as well. Lots and lots of gifts coming from this guy to you guys out there. And ladies, and owls, and elk. Apparently I'm popular with the elk. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.